Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I just wanted to check in with you guys real quick. After seeing Megan's video earlier, I just felt bad that I couldn't immediately respond with a video because I do really care about your journey and that you are feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, or just absolutely annoyed at how you are progressing. And honestly, I want to remind you that we are only on day 9 of 80. And as Autumn Calabrese has told us in all these videos, this is a process. And we have to believe in that process if we want to get the results that we want. And that she has studied and that she created this plan for, and she knows the science behind. There's a reason that this has all been set up the way it is, and it has been scientifically proven. It has been already through a test group, and we've seen the results, whatnot. So just keep thinking about that and keeping in mind that this is a process. I know it's very easy to get frustrated. I did myself last week. I reached out to a couple of the other girls and told them that I didn't think that I was going to be able to make it through the day, that I was going to have to break, and I was just really getting down on myself. And when you start to say those things to yourself, you start to believe it. So a little practice that I think would help for all of you is to think about the things that trigger you to want to eat or to not get your workout in. And once you've triggered that, I want you to write it down. And when you think, let's say, for example, when I get ticked off at my boss, I like to eat at my desk. Well, next time you get ticked off at your boss, make sure you don't go back to your desk and eat. Tell yourself, my boss is not going to put me in that situation or make me feel like that. I'm not going back to my desk to eat. So there's certain little tricks that I think that could maybe help you throughout this process in order to not get as frustrated. And honestly, we're at day 9. We're really past that point of really struggling through the eating part. I think the worst is over. Last week was pretty brutal with detoxing. I was really good, and I think I underestimated, honestly, this whole journey because I've been doing Beachbody for a year now. I'm like, I'll be fine. Well, Thursday rolls around and I get a complete headache. I felt like I was just lightheaded and I just didn't feel right. And when going back to Autumn's videos, she said that those are the type of symptoms that you would feel. And if you did, just, you would have to either bump up because you weren't getting enough to eat, or it was because that your body was just getting used to the process. So you yourself has to make those decisions, for example. So I decided that it was because my body was detoxing, and that's exactly what it was doing. My body was kind of going into shock because I was eating so early on in the day too. I think that is so foreign for me. I'm not used to doing that. I think a lot of people aren't as well. So all these things that you're feeling this week are totally normal. Another thing is I want to tell you how proud I am of all of your commitment to the past week. We've made it to week 2. Today is day 9 of 80. I'm just really proud that you have even taken the time to do this for yourself, because honestly, you are one of the few that have the time to do something for themselves. A lot of other people would make up excuses. So go you, pat yourself on the back. And another thing that I want you guys to do is to put on your blinders. I want you to, when you put on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatnot, that you don't compare yourself to other people's journeys, because everybody's journey is different. My journey is different than Carrie's. Carrie's journey is different than Alex. Different. Her journey is different than Brittany's. Like, that's just how it is. You cannot, think that because one person is getting results at day 3 and 4 that you should get results at day 3 and 4. Just, and even if those things I know a lot of us are in the exclusive test group, and there are some people that have posted before and afters, and I myself think that's a little, it's a little much, but if that's what they want to do, you can respect their decision and only, encourage them. And if that makes them feel better about pushing forward on those 80 days, respect that. And you know what? Go with it. And you just can't make you feel bad. You have to get in the mindset that going forward, this is about your journey, not anybody else's. It's also not about keeping track of that darn scale. Like Autumn has said over and over and over, get off the scale. The scale is not going to do anything for you. This program is about not skipping out on food. It is about gaining muscle, gaining strength, improving your physical and your mental bodies. I mean, you just can't focus. This is not about calories. It's not about anything like that. And if that's what you're looking for, you're on the wrong program. This is about a healthy lifestyle journey so that when you get off these 80 days that you are going to be able to have a foundation that has been already laid down and you can just keep going along with it. Another thing I want to talk about is the bloat factor. So a lot of people are complaining about the bloat. I myself dealt with that last week during the detox, and I just did not feel comfortable in my work clothes. I was like, what is going on? This program is not for me. Just snowballing. Like I said last week, I was starting with one thing and just really ending up thinking I just wasn't going to do it. Don't do that to yourself. Go ahead and look back what you ate. Did you eat broccoli? Did you eat Brussels sprouts? Did you have rice? Did you have quinoa? All those things that are going to bloat your stomach. If you did, then go ahead and try fish. Do some lettuce. Do something that's lighter on your stomach. And another thing that you can look at, if you are doing the Recover supplements, the post-workout supplements, that is, for some people, it really bloats them. So if you're having a difficulty with that, go ahead and take the Recover out for one day and see what happens. And if it's that, go ahead and take it out. I mean, if you don't want to feel that way, then you don't want to feel that way, and I don't blame you. So you make that decision. This is your journey, and it's about you. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was the mindset as well. I already talked about having the positive mindset, staying out of the negative. But you also have to think about this, like when you start to feel bad for yourself. For example, I went to dinner at my friend's house yesterday, and everybody was there, and we were all together, which is like super rare, and everybody's having drinks and beer and wine and whatnot, and even including one of my best friends who just had a baby, and it was her first drink, and she's like, aren't you gonna drink? And I was like, well, no. And I was like, well, wait. And she's like, what do you mean? And